Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes and
Matthew and Mike.
Welcome back to all our returners and hi to any newbies. It is so great to have you here and thanks for spending some of your Friday with us. It is the end of another chaotic week here in the Manfa household. However, it is really close to Christmas and even though I will be working for most of it, I'm finally beginning to feel maybe a little bit festive. But hopefully that will grow as the next few days go on. So it is Friday when you are seeing this, and that means we have a crochet catch up to do, and we didn't do one last week, so it's double bubble. However, you might be expecting lots of things to see and lots of things to go ooh, ah. Not the case. So sorry. We have had very little crochet time due to one thing or another, mainly work and mainly children. But what little we did get done, we have come on here to show you today. So, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I had put my ugly Christmas sweater vest in timeout because I was very, very, very mad at it. Very mad at it. The pattern was wrong. I realised I had 17 more squares to make before I even had any hope of putting it together. And then I had to put it all together and, you know, yeah. So I got very mad and I was a bit cross and I put it in timeout. But I was determined to have this sweater vest ready for Christmas because I want to wear it to work because obviously my work is very physically demanding, get very hot, very sweaty, and I didn't want a full sleeve Christmas jumper like this one because I'd get too hot. So I thought a vest would be the perfect solution because obviously it's still festive, but I have my arms free and I won't get so hot. So I did the 17 extra squares, I did put them all together and I added a little extra, and if you have seen a couple of my videos this week you might have even seen me wearing it, and I did wear it on our live last weekend.
Certainly did.
But when I wore it on the live there wasn't the added extra. I think it was in the live we discussed the added extra and I did it the very next day. So let's talk about it, shall we? Let's talk about the whole saga. I will never be making another one. So, hang on, before I show you mine, I'll show you the pattern. This is a free pattern from the Hobie website. It is the Jolly Times vest. And I did explain in the last crochet catch-up that we did that when it came to me thinking I had the right amount of squares and starting to put it together, I looked at the diagram of how to put it together and something wasn't adding up. Thought I was misreading the pattern, gave it to Mike to look at. Mike added up the squares that it tells me to make and then added up the squares in the diagram, realised that they didn't tally. And then because the squares are colour coded, he realised that there wasn't enough of the colours. So it was all just a little bit wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as I am aware, where is it? This is the diagram that I was following to put it together, okay? And it clearly says up here that large is this. Fine, not a problem. And it turns out large is this, okay? So this is correct. This part of the pattern is completely correct. This part of the pattern, which lists how many of each square you need for a large, is wrong. Because I did the 6 purples, the 7 blues, the 8 greens, etc. But when you looked at this, you needed more purples, more blues, more greens, etc. So I think them putting large on top of this diagram doesn't correlate. But even, we counted these, it doesn't even fit to this diagram, does it, with the number of squares that they ask you to make. So the large is just wrong. And I'm not going to make one of the other sizes to see if it's right or not. I just made the amount of colours I needed for this diagram and put it together. So that's why I needed the 17 extra squares. Now, Manfa also made a boo-boo in not reading how to join the squares properly. Yes, I did. So it says to put them right sides facing and join them that way, and then obviously flip them back round. So the join on the front of the vest should look like this. Nice and flat, nice and flush. Beautiful, right? Manfa joined them, and the front of her vest looks like this, with these great big fat ridges all the way around her squares. Every single one of them. But do you know what? I think it makes the ugly sweater vest even more ugly. So it turned out to be a happy mistake. I am fine with it, because again, if you look at the front of the pattern, they're nice and flat, nice and pretty, no ridges or bumps in sight. But I've got ridges and bumps, and I'm proud of my ridges and bumps, and I think it makes an ugly sweater vest even more ugly. And yes, I followed the colour patterns and the colour suggestions. It's not the same yarn. It's Christmas yarn that I had and some scraps that I had, but it's the same colours: Christmas green, Christmas red, poopy brown, which is supposed to be gingerbread. That brown is not something I consider a Christmas colour. Personal preference, personal choice. I don't like it, but I copied it. I did my extra lumps and bumps that I really didn't need, joined it all wrong, but by this point I was just happy to have a garment that I could wear because it was all attached and it fit. But then in the live I said what would make it even more irritating and even more ugly is if I stuck a jingly bell in the centre of every square. My work colleagues are going to hate me. It's going to be hilarious. So even though I have worn it in previous videos and I wore it on the live, I will model it for you now to prove that it does fit and that I am proud of my super ugly Christmas sweater vest. I'm even going to wear it on what will be our Christmas day, which is actually the day after Christmas, because we don't have the boys. We've got to wait for the boys to come back, and that's the only day off I've got. And I will be wearing it, and my mum's probably going to take one look at it and go, that is the most ugly vest I've ever seen. And I'm going to go, thanks, that's the whole point. Because in the live, all of you were like, your sweater's gorgeous, your sweater's lovely, I love it, I love it, I love it. And I love you for it. I really, really do. But the whole point was to make it as ugly as possible. And then a couple of my really good friends came into the live, and one of them said, that is a hideous vest, but beautiful stitch work. And my other friend came in and went, you are wearing a butt ugly vest. And it made my night. Now, normally, as crocheters and yarn crafters, we don't want anyone to say that our garments are ugly or less than appealing to the eye. We want someone to go, oh, that's gorgeous. Where did you get it? Oh, you made it. Could you make me one? That kind of conversation. You don't want someone coming up to you going, that is the most butt ugly vest I have seen in a very long time. But in this case, yes, I did, because then I did it right. I wanted it to be ugly. I didn't want you all to tell me it's beautiful. It's not supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be gross. That was the whole point.
And now it's an annoying ugly
And
Christmas
now it's
vest.
irritating. And you know what? On Christmas Day, when I'm running around that hotel, scrubbing toilets and hoovering floors and changing beds and doing all the yucky, gross jobs that I have to do, if my work colleagues say to me, that vest is so annoying, I'm going to look at them and I'm going to go, well, I'm going to make it even more annoying. Every time. Because none of us want to be there Christmas Day. Let's just have a laugh, have a giggle, get it done. Admire the ugliness. Don't tell me it's irritating, or I'll irritate you even more. Because that's just Manfa's mentality. So if you do download this pattern, be warned, I was going for a large. The large does not tally. The pattern for large is incorrect. I do not know about the other sizes. If you want to make it for yourself, grab it, but be prepared to have extra yarn just in case what it tells you to do isn't enough. And thankfully I did have extra yarn, and so Sunday I spent half an hour gluing these jingly bells, and I did a green bell for every red centre, a gold bell for every brown centre, and a red bell for every green centre. So each square up on my shoulders, all over my back, under my armpits, every square has a bell. And I was even tempted to evenly space some silver ones around the trimming, but I thought that was just taking it a little bit too far. But they are hot glued on, they ain't coming off, and I'm going to wear this with pride every Christmas forevermore. Yes, I am. So the reason why I made this vest is because Lynette from Charmed Grammy was sponsored by Hobie to do a hashtag ugly Christmas sweater. She then changed it to hashtag ugly Christmas 2022. She asked that you make something garment or a blanket, something substantial to qualify as part of the hashtag. She is doing a giveaway. I did it because I wanted to support my lovely Lynette. She is a friend of mine. I have quite a few store-bought jumpers because the one underneath is a store-bought Christmas jumper. But I just wanted to support my friend and actually have something that I've made. And this is the first adult-sized garment for myself that I have ever made. I've made a poncho for someone else, and I've made a kiddie sweater for someone else. And I think I tried to make an adult-sized sweater that turned out to be kiddie-sized anyway. And I've made a couple of hats, but this is the first proper garment that is in my possession for me that has been a success. And so, scraps. If you remember, I bought some Christmas yarn from the Knitting Network. I showed you that haul. I might even link that haul video down in the description box if you haven't seen it already. So you'll know what they look like, because they were in cakes, and I literally chopped the cake to pieces to separate the colours because I wanted to colour control. And then the brown and the white were scraps. Oh my goodness gracious, I should be more prepared. I am so sorry. So the cakes were the Christmas Classics festive cakes from the Knitting Network, and they had this green, this red, and a cream. The cream I didn't use because I knew I wouldn't have enough to do all the connecting and the trim, so the cream went straight into the scrap bucket. This is 100% acrylic, approximately 540 meters, 590 yards, 150 grams. Recommends 4mm knitting needles, machine washable to 30 degrees Celsius, do not iron, do not tumble dry, do not bleach, and it was called Christmas Morning. Like I said, I'll link that whole video down in the description box should you wish to watch it. The cream went straight in the scrap bucket, and I used both cakes. I had two of the cakes that I chopped into pieces. I massacred my cakes. So there's the two ball bands for the cakes, and I have this much green from the two cakes, this much, oh it's all getting tangled, this much red from the two cakes. Like I said, all the cream went in the scrap bucket. And then for the brown, the gingerbread colour, I used this, which was a scrap ball that I had of Stylecraft Special DK in the colour gingerbread. 100% premium acrylic, approximately 295 meters or 322 yards. Naturally anti-pilling, knits to all DK patterns, and DK is a lightweight 3. So all of this yarn is a lightweight 3. Machine washable to 30 degrees Celsius, cool tumble dry, cool iron, may dry clean, 4mm needles and hooks. It wasn't even a full ball when I pulled it out of my stash, and I still have this remaining, so it really doesn't take a lot of the gingerbread colour. And this will be going, all of this that I'm showing you will go in our scrap bucket to go towards Tile of the Week. And then the white, because the cream wouldn't be enough, was a full ball from Hayfield Bonus Glitter, and actually I used one full ball, and this is the remainder of the second ball. So you need quite a bit of white, that's why I knew the cream wouldn't be enough. And the Hayfield Bonus Glitter, they are 100 gram balls, 296 meters or 324 yards. They are 95% acrylic, 5% polyester. Wash up to 40 degrees. Don't iron, don't tumble dry. Can dry clean. Wash it on a wool cycle. Dry flat. 4mm needles and hooks. So you need 1 full ball and a part ball of the white, very little of the gingerbread, and the majority of 2 cakes, but there is, you know, a substantial bit left over. So lots of scraps for our tiles of the week, which Mike was hoping he'd have some of the Christmas green left over because he was looking for Christmas green the other day and I didn't actually have any. So we do now. So they will all go in the scrap bin, and I will put all of these labels in my ball band wallet for the year because they will get used. And I'm including them in this year's total because the hassle I had to make this ugly thing, I deserve to have the ball bands in my wallet. Just saying. So all these lovely ball bands from one garment to add to my wallet. Vest completed with the added extra of the irritating jingle bells. I had so much fun and pleasure gluing all those bells on, knowing how annoying they'll be. But like I said, be warned about the pattern. The large size is incorrect. And that's my Christmas vest that I finally got finished. And I'm so glad to get that one done. It's done, it's dusted. And you will probably see a lot more of it in the next couple of weeks. Just saying. And then after I had done that, and that took quite a bit of time when I got it out of timeout to complete, didn't it? Because again, I had an hour here, a couple of hours there, really not a lot of time. Now again, back along, I said that my nan went shopping in my stash because she wants me to make a hat and fingerless gloves for her for Christmas. The reason why she wanted that is because the hat that I made for breast cancer awareness was on the table. She tried it on. She said she liked it, but she didn't want bright pink because, you know, she's in her 80s and she thinks a more subtle colour would be better. I personally think she rocked the pink, just saying. And I have a picture of her in it on my phone, which I've shown before, so I'm going to show again. This is my dear old nan, rocking my pink breast cancer awareness hat. But she went shopping in my yarn stash and picked the yarn that she wanted it made from. And she picked the Yarn Bee Fireplace Comfort, which was Hobby Lobby clearance and gifted to me in Happy Mail. It is 70% acrylic, 30% wool. It's a medium number 4 weight. It is 150 grams or 5.3 ounces, 229 yards or 210 meters. Recommends a 4.5mm knitting needles or 5.5mm crochet hook. And it is in the colour Smoky Shadow. So,
very apt.
This is what I've got left from my first ball because I got the hat done. I've still got the gloves to do and I've only got a week to do it, guys, because she wants it for Christmas. Christmas is in a week's time. So I need to get a pair of fingerless gloves done next week. But I've got the hat done at least. So I'm nearly there. Nearly there. I've never made fingerless gloves though. So slightly worried. Where's the seam at the back? You can't even really see the seam at the back. There it is. So I am going to put it on, but bear in mind I've got a ponytail in. This is my dear old nan's neutral hat in the same pattern as the pink one. And it is done in the Alpine Stitch by Fibre Spider. So I'll link him down below. I'll link the net as well. Anyone we talk about, we will link down in the description box. But there is the nice soft neutral colours of that yarn. It is thick, it is squishy. There is no doubt that this will keep her warm. We'll let you into a secret. It fits Mike. Put it on, show him. So I'm a bit worried that it might be a little bit big for my nan.
No, I've got a skinny head.
There you go, let's see, it even fits Mike.
Although it makes me look bigger, to be fair.
So I think my dear old nan's going to have to zhuzh her hair up a bit to keep it up and not falling down her face.
She's going to have that sock bit at the back.
Or the slouchy style.
Yeah.
And it looks good in a slouchy style, actually.
Just make it longer.
You should rock beanies more often. Not necessarily this colour, but you should rock beanies more often. You're going to put the pink one on.
See,
Danny, look good.
This one feels smaller.
Which is bizarre because I put more rows in that one than I did this one, and they're both 4 weights.
Yeah, but it's tighter and skinnier. That's quite wide.
I've got a little bit of a
I've got a little bit of a slouch, but...
So yes, Alpine Stitch hat from Fibre Spider. Super easy pattern to follow. The video tutorial is excellent. This is going to be huge.
Yeah, it's quite wide.
He recommends that you do the main body of the hat in a 6mm, so I used my 6mm clover, and then for the brim you go down to a 5mm, and again clover, and it took most of the skein apart from this bit, but then I'll put this into the mittens, and I have got 3 other skeins, so I've got plenty of yarn. So I will gift it to my nan, and if it is super big, way too big, then I'll make her another one smaller. She'll just have to wait a little bit. But the thought was there, guys. I tried.
And it is very warm.
Yeah, but that's not the one she's having. This
Yeah,
is
but
the
it's
one
the
she's
same
having.
pattern, isn't it?
It's the same pattern, but that's 100% acrylic. This has got wool in it, which is even warmer because it's natural animal fibre.
Well, this is warm enough.
So I tried, but I do think this is going to be massive on my dear little Nan's head. So I might have to remake it. We'll see. I'll let you know. And wish me luck on getting the fingerless mittens done.
But what you've got to remember is I don't have any hair. So my head's quite big.
Nan does have a perm, so...
Yeah, but my hair is gone.
So we managed to do both Tile of the Weeks, because we're doing 2 weeks of Crochet Catch Up. We managed to get both Tile of the Weeks done. Check those out if you haven't already. I finished this, made the hat, but still got the fingerless mittens to go. And then the only other thing I've done is Luck of the Draw.
Yeah, you've done a lot more than I have, because I haven't done any this week.
No.
Or last week.
It's just been a nightmare. We have had such extreme weather conditions that our heating unit actually froze solid. So we have had struggles with hot water and heating this week. We've basically lived in an igloo, haven't we?
Yeah, so I've done the tile.
Yeah, he's done both the tiles. And you put last week's colour in.
Yeah, I put last week's colour in, which is here.
Not last week's, the weeks before.
The week before,
he's got last week's still to put in. And
so I've got
a
row of white to do, and then last week's colour, 3 rows of white,
and
another colour, 3 rows of white.
And
then I said I was going to border it, but I'm going to have to border it, because I don't like the fact that they're on this side they mix, and it needs to be one colour all the way around the sides.
You just want to neaten it up.
Yeah, I just need one colour.
Give them an overview of it. You literally have barely shown it.
So
they all love seeing your work. Show it off.
Haven't tied in any ends.
You need to look at the comments on Tile of the Week's video this week, because there's a lot of impressed comments on your stitching, how neat it is, how well you're doing, how some people have said you know even more stitches in the short time you've been doing it than that they know in 20 years of doing it. So you need to be more aware that these guys watching support you way more than you think.
Yes, thank you for supporting me, but the knowledge of the stitches that I know is all down to this one. Because if I didn't live with you...
He would never have picked up a hook.
I would never have done it.
If he never met me, he would never have picked up a hook.
Even if I did, I wouldn't have powered through all those stitches.
And also, it was only when I started a channel that he picked up a hook, because he lived with me for 3 years.
Yeah, I didn't even bother.
So.
But there you go. There's some of it. It's quite big now. It's not as big as Sam's, but...
So yeah, there's the rainbow of colours.
I must admit, the purple, the red, the blue, and the pink... actually, green...
And Mike's not a green fan.
And my favourites are this. Don't like mushroom.
No, he's regretting his mushroom colour choice. But can't always be happy with it all.
No, and it is a very neutral colour, so it could do alright if it was like the main colour, possibly. I still wouldn't pick it, but...
No. It's just not your favourite.
No.
Lesson learned. Won't be using it in the future.
I like bright, vibrant colours.
Yeah. So, as we were saying, this week's number was again picked by Lynette at Charmed Grammys.
Yes.
So if you need this week's number, head over to her channel and she'll let you know what it is.
But it's...
And she also drew 2 extra numbers because this week is the last week, guys. But she drew 2 extra numbers in case you want your project to be longer. You've got extra rows to make it longer. I will not be doing the extra rows because my blanket is way big enough. It really doesn't need any extra length.
And I won't be because I really need to get onto my shawl.
Yeah. So Mike needs to put in last week's colour and this week's colour, border it, and then it's done. I just need to put in this week's colour because I did do last week's colour. So for me, last week's colour was the aspen colour. It looks more blue on camera than it is in real life. This is actually closer to how the green is showing here. Because this green is highlighter, smack you in the face, the most neon green you can ever find. And my camera does not show that. Whereas this colour is more of a minty bluey, like this one. Bizarre, I know. But that was last week. And I'll give you a quick pan. Mine is so big and heavy. So we started all the way back down here with the orange, the purple. And it goes through all of these lovely colours. Oh, just whacked myself in the head. And it just goes on and on and on and
combined
on
with
and
the
on
black,
and on and on.
the neon
and on
colours go very well.
To here, and now I just need to add this week's colour, border it, and then this one is done. 20 weeks done, just like that. And I say just like that because 20 weeks is actually quite a long time. It's nearly 5 months. Yeah, nearly 5 months. I know some months have 5 weeks, some have 4, but you know, 4 or 5 months, which is a long time. But when you're literally doing just one colour a week, one tiny little section a week, it doesn't feel like we've been working on it for that long. It has been one of the most enjoyable projects I have done this year. Lynette said that they are hoping that Luck of the Draw will be coming back next year for Luck of the Draw 7, and they think February time. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and hopefully it will be back on Nan's Next Knots channel because this is her baby. This is her brainchild. But Nan just needs to get over the illness that she's been having lately, and she needs to recover a little bit. And hopefully by February she will be fully recovered, back to how she was before, and back in February with Luck of the Draw 7. So fingers crossed. Hope your recovery goes well, Nan, and that you feel better because we really, really would like to join in again. Well, I would. I can only speak for me. I don't know if you will, but I definitely will.
I'm going to join in, but I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to do a blanket.
I don't know if I'll do a blanket either. I might do something different as well. So watch this space. If it does happen, we will participate, but we don't know what it will be, but it won't be a blanket.
No.
So yes, Christmas vest, massive hat for my Nan that I now think is going to be way too big. Luck of the Draw. We will come back next Friday for one more crochet catch up before Christmas because it's the day before Christmas Eve. Let you know what we've managed to do in this Twixmas week. And then the following week we're having a, what was it that I called it? Wing It week.
Yep.
Where we don't know what content's going to pop up, but it's not going to be our weekly segments. That week between Christmas and New Year is a Wing It week. It will just be whatever content we have either pre-recorded or are going to record that isn't our weekly segments, because we'll start our weekly segments back up as of January. We have been in receipt of quite a bit of happy mail over the last few days, so there will be quite a few happy mail videos going up. I would like to stress that it's not us boasting or bragging or saying, look what we've got. That's not why we do those videos. We do those videos to show who sent it that we got it.
And that we're grateful.
And that we are so thankful and grateful that we want to give you a public thank you for sending it, because it's time, it's effort, it's money, it's love, it's generosity, and it needs acknowledging. So you get your own thank you video. You also get an email and stuff behind the scenes, because we sometimes open it, thank you behind the scenes, and it's a week until you see the video because we have such scheduled content. So there will be Happy Mail videos galore. There will be Christmas cards part 2. There's lots coming up, isn't there? There is a lot coming. So please do stay tuned. Next week is the last week of scheduled content, and then we're having a week off. Okay? Not a week off of content. You'll still see us every day. I know that's irritating, right? You will still see us every day. But it won't be the segments you're used to. We just want a free-flowing week. Just no stress, no pressure, no I have to get this done for this day. Just a week. And more fun.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed, because the week leading up to Christmas is normally the most stressful for parents. So we'll see. But anyway, guys, we have taken up half an hour of your time again. Thank you so much for watching our double bubble crochet catch up. Sorry there wasn't more to see, but you know, real life gets in the way and has to take precedence. But we do have some things to show you. Like I said, super proud of what we've managed to achieve, and hopefully by next Friday we will have wrapped up our luck of the drawers at least. So that's another project ticked off, done and dusted, and hopefully I will get the second part of my Nan's Christmas present done, because otherwise she ain't getting a Christmas present and I'll be in the doghouse. So wish us luck, wish us luck. Okay guys, so also this weekend there will not be stories. It will probably be Happy Mail videos, not gonna lie, or Christmas card videos. I need to get this content in before Christmas. So the stories are gonna take a back seat until these videos have gone up. And until then,
stay safe,
be kind,
look after one another,
get some good quality time in with your loved ones,
get some good quality crafting time in.
We will see you in the next one,
or around the YouTube streets.
Love you guys.